Thanks for coming in. How's your day going? Good. I'm glad to hear it. Hey Rachel, thanks for coming in. How's your Sunday going? I guess I thought I had enough battery to get back, but let's go and plug this bad boy in so we got enough battery to get back. I'm probably gonna be paddling most of this live. I just gotta make sure I can make it back before dark. So. But we're probably gonna do some fishing too. I just need to paddle back to my vehicle and make sure I got enough time before it gets dark. So hang in there, folks. We're gonna paddle. Cause my motor died, or my battery died to my motor, so I gotta make sure I can get back. I don't wanna be out here dark. So once I get close to where I put in at, we'll start fishing. And you're coming back in from the last live, I appreciate it. I had to hop off here for take care of something. But luckily the wind's not that bad, so it's not going to be too difficult to paddle. And I can smell a carp. Must be a bunch of carp around here, grouped up, schooled up. All right, man. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just fish right here. Just to see what happens. I should have probably started back there, but that's all right. Let's fish right here. We got the wind at our backs. Yes, I probably should have started over there, but we'll throw a couple times right here. I just gotta make sure I can get back before the sun goes down. the battery died, so caught like 5 or 6 bass on the last live. Not sure what this guy's saying. Oh. All right, take care. I was gonna answer your question, but see you in the next one. I think the wind's going to be blowing against the bank, or blowing towards where I put in at, so at least that's good. You can probably just ride the wind back. I definitely got to make sure I can get back in time before the sun goes down. I think you're asking what kayak I have. kayak do I? Okay. This is an Old Town Sportsman. This model is what they call powered by Minn Kota, so it has a Minn Kota motor built for it. But the Sportsman comes in 4 different models. It comes with the basic model, or like a pedal drive, so you use your feet to propel it, and then comes with a motor. It also comes in 3 different lengths, 10.5, 12, and 13.5 feet. So this is 10.5, so it's a 106 model. I'll get back to paddling here in a minute. Like I said, I'll probably do some more fishing today, but I gotta make sure I can. That was a fish, darn it. I just gotta make sure I can get back in time before it gets too dark. I got about an hour and a half to get back, so I got plenty of time, I would think, but you never know. So I don't have to go too far, but I motored pretty far today, so hang in there. I said we'll stop and do some fishing too, like we are right now. Yeah, have any more, Jay Bear, you got any more questions about my kayak, just go and ask away. Or about what I'm using, what I'm fishing with, whatever. As long as it's fishing related. And you ask other questions too, but I like to stick to fishing related questions. Snag off and we'll keep paddling. I've already fished this bank earlier today, so in my previous live, so we pretty much picked over all the fish on this bank. It's really stuck on whatever it's stuck on. What's up, Austin? 4 to 8 drink baits. You mean 4 to 8 feet? I don't. Most crankbaits I like to throw are the square bills or lipless crankbait. Lipless crankbait, you can run that bad boy from the, right below the water all the way down to the bottom. But I try to I just like. I like the square bill crankbaits, so those run like, I don't know, like either right below the surface or down to like 4 feet, I believe they run. They just have, and they're good for throwing, around wood and stuff, because you can run that square bill down the logs and tree trunks, and it likes to deflect off of stuff. But I don't like to sit there and and wind down a deep diving crankbait. So probably as far as I let my crankbait get down to, like you said, 6 or 8 feet. But I've had success on that. So, stick to the natural colors, any kind of wider, coloration, or if the water's stained, some kind of bright color like a chartreuse or an orange or something. Or if you're trying to imitate a crawdad, you can get like a red color, red, brown, orange color. Let it dig down on the bottom. But I don't throw crankbaits too often, but like I said, if I do, I throw a square bill. They don't get very deep, and they'll deflect off of wood and cover and stuff. So I've caught some big bass on a square bill, like a Strike King, a 2.5 or 1.5, whatever it may be, in the chartreuse shad color. Oh, yep, I do too. I like to throw a crawfish color as well. Water's calm to use. Worms in the taste in the. Any more fish from previous live stream? Oh no, not yet. My battery ran out of juice, or ran out of power, so I have to paddle back now, which isn't too far, but I'm gonna paddle back, and then once I see where I put my kayak in at, I'll start fishing. I just want to make sure I can get back before it gets dark. I'll make sure I leave myself enough time to get back. So, but that's the goal. Once I get done paddling, I'll go back to throwing my wacky rig Senko worm around and see if we can't pick up a couple more bass. I apologize I had to hop off my live so fast. I had something going on, so I had to hop off there and take care of it real quick. So, nothing too bad or nothing, so. I had to make sure I was able to take care of it. Thanks, Rachel. Captain Devo, checking in, brother. Be safe, brother. I'm always safe, but I appreciate the sentiment or whatever. So that's why I always wear my life jacket. I never used to, but just like a seatbelt, I always wear my seatbelt. You know, like if you buy a good fishing life jacket, a lot of times you forget that you're even wearing it. You know, this life jacket's super comfortable. It's got it allows me a lot of range of motion. It's real minimal, I guess, just enough to keep me afloat if I fell in the water. So, this summer I need to get in the water. I need to make sure I got my life jacket set right, so I don't, it's not too loose. But maybe I'll do have to record that. I guess you guys can get a good chuckle. Already done. I'm not sure. I'm not done fishing yet. Oh, no rain. Nope. It rained earlier today. I'm not sure. I can't see the radar. Rachel might be able to tell me if there's any kind of rain coming in. She's my meteorologist on staff. No, I'm just kidding. But just kidding. But she'd be able to tell me if there's rain coming. I always check the hourly forecast before I get on the water just to make sure there's nothing coming. But as far as I would assume, it should clear off later on tonight. It's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, like full sun and 85. I may be wearing jeans and a flannel today. Tomorrow I'll be wearing a t-shirt and shorts probably. So it's going to be 85 degrees tomorrow. Only 13. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'll be about off the water by then. So let's go. I'll just have to charge my battery when I get home tonight. I would say, besides the price, the only downside to my lithium battery is that I can't tell how much battery I have left, so I have to keep track of it in my mind, or just kind of pay attention to how much you know, power I'm using, because you can kind of feel it or hear it drop out when, you know, it starts losing power. But when I had a lead acid battery in here, the cool thing about that is by my throttle up here, right here, there's a battery meter right there. You can press the test button and has, you know, red, yellow, and green bars on there, or arrows, and it'll tell you how much battery life you have left in your battery. But you can't do that with the lithium battery apparently, so that's the only downside. I wish I had that. I mean, I guess I could probably buy something that'll tell me how much battery life I have left, but I owe you and I've sent you a request for contact. Oh, my Instagram, okay. Big day at church today. Bless up. What's up, Madden? Thanks for coming in. I'll check my messages, but I mean, no guarantees I'll be able to have you send it to me, because, like I said, I'm not gonna give out personal information or nothing. So, if I had a PO box, I'd have you send it there, but I don't have one of those yet. So, I need to do a few more things for my channel still. So. But I appreciate it. It was a big day for us at church too. My daughter, ooh, getting baptized. I got baptized a long time ago. Probably going on 20 years ago. Any fish? Not on this live, but the live I was on earlier today, before I had to hop off real quick. I caught 5 bass. So the battery died, so I'm paddling back near my near where I put it at, just to make sure I got enough daylight to get out. But once I get that in my sights, I'll go back to the bank and I'll start fishing around, you know, for however long I can fish before it gets too dark. Tell everyone to say hi. I caught a 5-pound bass today on a live bluegill. Oh man, congratulations! That's amazing. Tell your daughter I said I don't know. Congratulations be the right thing to say. I don't know. Well, that's awesome, Rachel. Five-pound bass on a live bluegill. That's awesome. Did you get to watch it eat it? That would have been even more awesome if you're able to watch it take the bluegill. Awesome, thank you. I guess I could bring my rudder up. This might be a little bit trying to get myself through this pipe. Make sure I don't have my rod up in the air. Okay, this is going to take me a second to get through this pipe, probably. Hang in there, folks. The current's blowing through this pipe here. Luckily, this pipe is wide enough I can paddle through it. I've been through some. Gosh darn it! I've I've been through some of these pipes where there's not enough room to do anything. Heading out to Narnia. Let's go. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Oh, they're over here fishing. Now we're out of there. It's back. Rudder back down. It is. I'll tell her you said congrats and tell her you said hi. Thank you. Oh. Let's go. Time is 6:30. I think I'm just gonna keep paddling just to make sure. I think I have plenty of time to get back, so we may just. There's a big old tree in the water I may try to throw at. So we'll see. That's a good bank over there, but everybody fishes that bank. I don't know how many fish are on that bank. Row, row, row your boat. There's a bobber way out in the water. I don't know if this connected to someone's rod or not. I bet it is. I bet it's that right there. See if it's attached to anything. I don't think it is. Just a booba out on the water. A booba out in the water. Out in the water. Ooh. Look, not attached to anything. Looks like it one lights up. Really? What we got going here? What's up, Misty? Thanks for coming in. How's your day going? Row, row, row your boat. Paddle, paddle, paddle your yak. I'm just. My battery may have died, but I'm just glad that it's like the water's placid, calm. Makes a real nice and easy paddle back. So we'll definitely I'm sure we have enough time to do some fishing. Just want to make sure that I can get, like I said, that I can make it back in time. So. Actually, is it right there? No. It always fools me. I think right there is where I get in at, but it's actually up farther. It always gets me. How many fish? I tried seeing that from back there. I couldn't. I'm blind. How many days does your kayak normally last? Oh, battery wise? It just depends. In the summertime, when I go down to the river, I have it completely fully charged, and I'm on the water for 14 hours. So, and some of that areas are like super fast current wise, so I got to really use a lot of power to get through there. So it's just kind of case by case, I guess, or day by day. But usually on the smaller lakes, you know, I use enough motor power to to go against the wind. So I haven't really thought about it. Well, kind of, but I would say weeks. I mean, I charged this bad boy weeks ago, I think, so I would say at least a couple of weeks, and I fish every day, so it lasts a good while. So, and this is I have a 54 amp hour battery. A lot of kayak fishermen with motors, they use the 100 amp hour batteries, so you can imagine that lasts a lot longer, but no, it's not bad. And I knew it was gonna start giving out on me sometime soon. But it really, honestly, it probably would have lasted me the rest of the day, or darn near the rest of the day, but I had to pick up the speed earlier, so, and that made it die a little bit quicker. Otherwise, it may have lasted, which honestly, that could have cost me, you know, maybe, I mean, not too bad, but like if I would have kept it lower, it may have died on the way back when I thought I had enough to get all the way back and it was almost dark or something. That would have stunk. But I was thinking, oh no. Now if I was like, if I really wanted to get somewhere fast and I fished for like, I mean, even 2 days, I think, of using it almost at full throttle or like a 3/4 power all day for 2 days, I could probably still get, you know, multiple days out of it, more than 2 anyway. I mean, it's something I could test out, I guess, but because I'll be starting with the fully charged battery tomorrow. So if I can remember, you know, I can try to keep track of how many days, you know, because if I get home tonight, I'm gonna throw it on the charge. And it takes about 5 hours to fully charge it from completely dead. Around 5 hours, maybe a little less. So, and it only weighs like 14 pounds. My battery does, which is great. And it has a thing called BMS system, or that's a battery management system. So it won't overcharge or nothing like that. So once it's fully charged, it'll stop charging, it'll kick itself off. I'm back from dinner. Nice, what'd you have for dinner? Did you eat well? That's what I gotta figure out later on tonight. I gotta figure out what the heck I'm gonna eat. I got a pizza last night. I got jalapenos on it. That's probably, I'm feeling that for the day for sure. Jalapenos. Whoops. I had Amica Masala. Oh. Is that Italian? Forgive my ignorance. I'm not really sure what that is. Masala part sounds familiar. I think it's Italian, I don't know. It's Asian dish. Okay, fair enough. Alright, what time is it now? It's almost 7. Tell you what, let's just start fishing by this dock here, I guess. Let's start fishing right here. You know, I haven't fished over across here yet. So I can't remember last time I fished over here on this side. So let's go over here and fish. And then I'll, well, no, let's stay on this side. Let's just stay over here. Since we're already over here, let's go over here and fish. I can see the bank where I'm supposed to get out at, so we'll go and fish. Oh, there she is. Oh, I know. How's it going, Mila? Heard you had a big day today, huh? Congratulations. Good, thank you. How's your day going? Oh, it's not too bad. Can't complain too much. And even if I could, who's gonna listen? You know? It doesn't do too much good to complain, so. Guys are on here watching me fish, not to listen to me complain, so. But thankfully, I don't have much to complain about, if anything, so. How do you get modded? Double tap that screen and subscribe. How do I get modded? I gotta make you a mod. Anyway, oh, already have Rachel. Oh, and I appreciate that, Billy. It means a lot that you like and subscribe my channel. I don't take any of my subs for granted. It means a lot to me, and do you have the whole team on the kayak? Just me, myself, and I. I could probably fit one more person on here if I really had to, depending on a few factors. Oh, that's what it makes me think of. The town you're talking about, it makes me think of a bass species that's found down there, the Altamaha bass. Are you by the Altamaha River? I think that's a river. Because there's a bass in Georgia called the Altamaha bass. I thought about doing the bass slam down there one year. Where you catch all 10 species of bass in a year. There's actually 2 species of bass that are endemic to Georgia. It means they're only found in Georgia. That's the Altamaha bass and the Bartram's bass. So, but really, the Bartram's bass you can find also barely into South Carolina. It's found on the Savannah River. So I love to fish that one day, the Savannah River in Georgia. It runs right along South Carolina and Georgia. And I think if you have one state license, then you fish both sides. I had to double check that though. Yeah, I would love to fish the Savannah River one day soon. You can catch the Bartram's bass, you can catch smallmouth bass. I think there's only 2 places in Georgia you can catch smallmouth. That's the Savannah River, and I think it's Lake, what's that lake called? I want to say, that's not right. I forget now. I'm using a wacky rig. What do you think about topwater lure? It's effective for bass. Oh yeah, I mean, it's not only is it effective in certain times of the day and certain times of the year, but it's a lot of fun. So much fun to catch them on topwater. Because you'll be, moving across the top of the water, all of a sudden the water will just explode. Boom! And a big old bass grabbed hold of it. Not even a big bass, just any kind of size bass will come up, blow up on it. So, I mean, you catch them in top water, I guess pretty much like most lures, like any time of the day, but early morning and early evening and is a good time to throw a topwater bait. But probably one of these lives I'll throw on a topwater bait. I was doing that down in Florida back in January. I was throwing a topwater bait and had a nice bass blow up on it. I mean, just annihilate it. Matter of fact, I think one of my shorts on my channel has a video. It's kind of grainy, unfortunately, but it shows the big topwater strike on my channel. But you have ever troll with your? I don't ever troll, no. I'm not really a fan of trolling. How was your day going? Oh, it's going good. How's your day going? I'll show you what I'm using real quick. This is just a wacky rig. I just got a 5-inch Senko on here, just a 5-inch stick worm, and I'm not sure what color this is. It might be like a Bama bug or something, but it works pretty good. I'm trying to imitate a bluegill because it looks like the bass are on the bed. So, bluegill tend to come in and eat the eggs and eat the fry, the baby bass, the baby fish. They're called fry. So, if you didn't already know that. But I'll try to be as thorough as I can when I explain stuff. I know a lot of you probably already know the things I say, but some people may not. So even the simplest things like a Palomar knot or a Texas rig setup, some people may not know what that is. And I think sometimes as fishermen we forget about that because it's so simple. But a lot of people may not know what that is. So if I talk about something repeatedly, I apologize. I just want to make sure that I'm thorough in my and my explanation of things. So, and again, I don't claim to know everything, so I like to learn just as much as the next person, to grow and expand my knowledge. And if I don't know an answer to something, or I forget what it is, I'll look it up after my live, and I'll let you know what I learned. So on the next live. So. Probably try to fish to like 7:30 or so, or another half hour or whatnot. I think this bank is just long enough to take us to the end of the day. So, are you going using sonar, or are you thinking about it? You're probably talking about live scope, I guess. I don't know, but I don't have sonar on my kayak. I think it's a useful tool. I know a lot of people, you know, think that it's cheating or whatever to use. It used to be like down scan and side imaging, that it would pick up all the trees and stuff in the water. You could see it, but it wasn't live. Now it's a thing called live scope a lot of the companies have, and it's like real time. It's not a real image, but it's a signature, so like you have to kind of learn how to read it. But I mean, but you can see your lure signature coming down the screen. You can see different size signatures or blobs or whatever coming over to it. And some people think that's cheating, but I mean, it's just another tool, you know. I mean, everybody's allowed to use it, or no one's allowed to use it in tournaments. So it's not cheap either. Dang duck, almost ran into me. I don't have nothing on here because it's not the top of my list of things to buy. I gotta buy other stuff first, and I only get to use it so many times, or in certain situations, because I drag my kayak around, and either there's a spot under my kayak for my transducer, I'd end up ripping it off probably if I had one on there. So, and if I ever get flipped over, I don't want to lose my screen and all my setup. So it's not really worth it to me right now anyway to get it. But people will, you know, people get so upset about that live scope stuff. But I mean, I don't have a problem people using a net, you know, to land a fish. Me personally though, when I bass fish, I don't use a net, you know, because I don't feel like I fully, completely caught a bass, especially a big bass. To me, it's making the cast, working the lure, setting the hook, fighting the fish, and getting it all the way to the side of the watercraft, the boat, your kayak, getting it all the way up, and then grabbing it. Now, if you want to, like, you know, dip the net into the water right next to the boat or the kayak and get the bass or whatever, or the fish, that's different. But like, personally, I think people who use a long handled net, you know, and they put their net all the way out there to scoop the fish up, I feel like that's not a complete catch in my book. I wouldn't feel completely satisfied catching a big bass if I had to use a net like that. So, nothing against it. I mean, that's just my personal preference. So, but anyway, that's probably a long answer, but be a little thorough here, I guess. You ever catch these great YouTubers? Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay, cool. Cool. Ka-choo. I usually hop on YouTube to look up certain things, you know, how to tie a new knot or something. But I'm trying to spend too much time on social media. I'm all about learning. I'm in the United States. stinks over here. I don't know what that smell is. It's not like a bad smell, but it doesn't smell good. It smells like someone's burning something weird. It's another thing with live scope too, like it's like people, I don't know why people call it cheating for. Like if everybody's allowed to use it, I don't know why it's cheating, but I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't necessarily like the fact that you have to watch the screen a lot, but definitely, you know, helps you find the fish, you know, and being live, it lets you know if you're doing the right thing, you know, getting the fish to react to whatever you're doing in the water. But what state? It's almost dark here. I'm in Illinois, right there in the Midwest. What have you been catching them on recently? My bass? Greetings, hug Venezuela. Hey, hey Jose, how's your day going? Today and yesterday, like I said, I've been throwing this wacky rig around. The old wacky rig. I've been catching them on, besides the wacky rig, I was throwing a small black leech looking thing with like a bright green chartreuse tail on there. Texas rigged that on a jig head extra wide gap hook, 1/16 of an ounce. And then I've been throwing a chatterbait around, catching a few on that. But I think right now, like I said, the water's warmed up a lot from the last time I checked it. And the full moon and the bass I caught yesterday, I think they're on the beds. So anything, you know, that you can throw onto a bed and keep it there and entice the bass to, you know, protect the bed, it would be a good thing to do. So. Oh, homeless people. I'm using a wacky rig. I'll show you. Thanks for coming in. Just throwing a wacky rig Senko. I'm not sure what the color is on this thing, but I think it's like a Bama bug or something. I've been catching them on jerk baits, but not jerking them, just reeling them. Buzz baits, jigs, crawdads. Yep. I do like a good crawfish imitation. Actually, I was gonna buy me a new jerk bait, a Lucky Craft Pointer 78, but they were out of stock of them, so I couldn't get any of them. But I think with post spawn coming up, it's probably a good idea to have one of those tied on, because some bass are going to be on the beds and some bass are probably going to be in post spawn, and they're not going to want to do anything but, you know, chill out probably. And those big females, after they just drop the eggs, so a jerk bait would probably be pretty good to throw out there. But then again, a Senko would probably work, you know, on the bank for the spawners, and then off the bank around the drops for the post spawn bass. I should fish over there on that big old tree over there, but I don't like bother people on the bank. I watched 1,000 informational fishing videos. I'm kind of a nerd about fishing. Say me too. That's good that you watch so many videos. That's pretty much all I use YouTube for, is just watching videos to learn new things, like a new knot to use or something. But if you think about fishing trips, have I thought about fishing trips? I think about fishing trips all the time. I just gotta plan it out. Like fishing on this, if I fish on the ocean, it's gonna be like in the like the inlets and the inshore stuff. As far as I know about post spawn, like it's just a time when they're, you know, and the big females, they get on the beds, you know, spawn up, they drop their eggs, and they, you know, they don't really want to do anything. You know, they get off the bed and they kind of want to recoup. You know, they kind of want to chill out off the, you know, they want to find those drops, the drop-offs, and hang out there. Like I said, they're not very active after they just got put in all that work to, you know, to spawn up. But so they don't really want to do anything. You kind of have to, you know, finesse them. You know, a jerk bait would be great, like a suspending jerk bait. But I mean, I like this time of the year. I love pre-spawn, but and all the male bass are going to be on the beds, you know, guarding the fry. So you can catch those fairly easy. I think I read one time that when the males are done guarding the bed, they'll eat one of the baby fries, or one of the baby bass, the fries. You have a little snack before he gets off the bed, which is kind of primal, I guess. Sorry for my English, it's far from perfect. Oh, no worries. I appreciate you trying. You're doing a good job. Fish on. Fish on. Oh, I got my braid wrapped around my rod, darn it. There it goes. Oh, it's not a monster, but we'll take it. I had to cast back in there because sometimes the male bass will grab the lure, and then the female will come after it secondary. So we'll throw it back in there, see if maybe the female's still sitting there. Unfortunately, like I said, the water's not too clear, so I can't exactly sight fish it. If it was sunny and the water's clear, I'd have my polarized glasses on and we'd be in there sitting there and sight fishing the poop out of it, but the crapola. Yeah, I mean, this time of year, if you catch a small bass, it's good to throw back in there and see the female still hanging around. Oh man, I tell you what was fun. When I was down in the panhandle of Florida, I was catching a species known as the Swanee bass in the Wasisa River down there, and that water was super clear, and all I did was sit in the river and I just threw to all the spawning Swanee bass, and that was a blast. I would love to do that next year too. No, correction, that was in February. At the very beginning of February, I was doing that, so I would love to go back down there again. Because Swanee bass, they don't get very big. I think the biggest one I ever caught was like under 4 pounds or something. Like 3.85, like, what was that? Like 3 pounds and, I don't know, 3 pounds, 14 ounces or something. So maybe I'll catch a state record Swanee bass one day, or 1 year. We'll see. But I mean, you can go back on my channel and watch my shorts, my short videos, and you'll see me showcasing the Swanee bass that I was sight fishing down there. It was a ball. It was fun. Very nice. Hey, Jimmy R. Adventure, thanks for coming in. Those were cool looking. Nice. Was it on beds? Oh yeah, they were on beds. I mean, they were all over the river, just spawning up. So, like I said, I definitely would like to go back down there next year. I made a buddy down there. I'm not sure he's watching right now, but shout out to Taylor. Him and his beautiful German short-haired dog were down there camping alongside of me, and we became buddies. Went out there on those, did some fishing together. It's good to make friends. It's about the only way I make friends is through fishing. I guess that makes sense. It's all I do is fish, but anyway, is that a cardinal? Probably. And there's a lot of cardinals around here. I don't know if you're talking about you can see it or if you can hear it. But I saw a bald eagle the other day I was fishing. That was pretty cool. We have European perch and pulling. Nice. So you can catch 7 in a row. That's awesome. I can hear it. Okay. I don't see a cardinal, but he's probably hanging around, doing his thing. Let's get around this tree real quick. Actually, let me cast back for a second, because I don't want to miss another bass if there's one on the bed back here. Probably just snagged up. Wouldn't that be awesome if I pulled a 5-pounder off over here? Alright, let's try one more time over here. See if we can get it onto the bed or something. Alright, never mind. I had to try. I can't see anything. The water's still fairly stained and it's cloudy. The beard is looking very nice. Well, thank you. You might hate to hear I'll be shaving it off probably next week. I'm getting that feeling I want to shave it off, so I'm trying to make sure I'm going to be for sure about it before I do it. I've had this beard for 13 months now, so a little over a year. I started growing it out. That's all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to grow it out for a year and see what it looked like. But it wasn't too long when I started growing it out last summer, or when last summer came about, so it wasn't too hot, but you don't even know who you are. Oh, you won't even know who you are. Well, maybe I'll shave it off in stages so you can get used to it. I'll shave the sideburns off first, and then shave off, the goatee, and then keep a handlebar, and then keep the mustache. I don't know if I'll go clean shaven. I may just keep the mustache, but it grows back fast, so it grows back real fast. So there you go. Fine stream beard shave. I thought about doing that. If I was going to clean shave right off the bat, I'd probably do that. I'll think about it. I am almost at 2,000 subs, so maybe when I get to 2,000 subs, be a good time to 2,000 sub shave or something. That'd probably do it, huh? Oops. feel like there's got to be a fish around here, but maybe not. This looks fishy. All looks fishy though, I guess. There's living threes in the water. Bass like cover for the most part. They like to hang out around submerged trees and vegetation like grass or lily pads, or they'll hang around the rocks where there's other types of things to eat, other forage. Keep trying, buddy. You will get your... Okay. I always try. I do my best, like most people do, I would imagine. So. Anyway, keep on going. Love to see your response. Dave's coming from Pakistan. How about this? You have to shave the beard to catch 7.5 or higher next month. I might never shave my beard then. If that's the case. I did catch a 7-pounder last month. I caught a 7-pounder right at 7. So if I really wanted to keep my beard, I'd probably say I gotta catch my PB before I shave it off, which is like 8 pounds. So, or even a double digit or something. But never shave. I was there for that. It was a Mondo. Oh, awesome. And I think I caught it again, you know, however many weeks later. I want to say I caught it again, because I caught one that was like like a few ounces under 7 pounds. So it could have been the same bass that dropped a few ounces, or maybe there's just 2 bass that big in there. So I don't know. What would you? Look, I'll show you. Hang on a second. Let me bring it back in real quick. I'll show you what I'm using. Just a wacky rigged Senko worm or stick worm. When it falls down, it just kind of, you know, the 2 sides kind of undulate or kind of quiver and wiggle and do a little dance on the way down. That's why you want to throw it on slack line so it doesn't hinder the action as it's, you know, going down. But I was gonna cast here earlier, but I didn't. Let's see what happens. Oh, I wish I would have got that on camera. That was like a 10 skipper. Looked like I threw a rock across the water. I skipped. Show use floating. What? I don't use a lot of well, some of my baits do float, but not today. What's your reasoning for wanting me to throw a floating lure for? It was over my head. Oh, it was over my brake, which was... Oh, okay. I see good catches for a float. Oh. Fair enough. I'm not gonna throw a floating lure today. One day I will, but not today. So. I think, was that a chatterbait I caught that on? I know that that one that was almost 7 pounds, I think was a chatterbait. Oh, you know what? That the 7-pounder was on that small swim bait I had. That little I think that little 5-inch Z-Man minnows is where I caught that 7-pounder on. And yeah, I think that one that was almost 7 was on a chatterbait, like you said. Because I had been throwing a big swim bait around and I was catching big ones too, but when I downsized to that smaller swim bait is when I caught that 7-pounder. So good luck, God bless you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Do you have TikTok or Facebook to subscribe? No, I just have YouTube. You know I have Instagram because you said you messaged me on there, so. Yep. I just have Instagram just so I can keep track of all my species I've caught over the years. It's just easier to show off all the species on there than try to dig them up and out of my camera roll. I remember when I was talking to you about the Berkeley Nessie and the other one. Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought about picking up a Nessie. One of those glide baits. But really the coal shad, you can make that thing glide too, side to side. I'll just work up to this dock here and then hop off, I guess. I think I'm on a, oh yeah, there's a stick right here. I guess I can try to throw in here. Oops. There's that tree up there. That fall right down in there. I think I worked this bank earlier. Well, it's about time to retie. This line's all boogered up. You can skip because of the hook clip. You have to try. It's so underrated. It looks like a $40 glide bait. Oh, I'm definitely gonna buy one of these days, but you can skip because of the hook clip. Oh, I'm out. Need to take a nap before work. I wish you the best in kayak size bass. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And I hope to see you in the next live stream. Thanks for coming in. Have a good rest of your night. I guess my battery pack died. That's okay. We're done anyway here in a few minutes. Maybe I'll probably work this dock real quick. Call it a live. I guess between the two live streams today, we were on here for like 4 hours or something, maybe somewhere around there. But Was it 4 hours? Something like that. Alright guys. A few more casts, and then we're gonna hop off here. This is essentially last cast bass. Calling it now. It's funny cause the exact same day he told me that about me and my dad went to the academy right across the street. Oh, nice. That is awesome. So I'm gonna just throw a few more here. Alright. Now this is the actual last cast bass. Throw right up in there. Oh, there's somebody's line there. What in the world? Got it off. This dog's gonna bark at me now. What are you going for? I was going for a largemouth bass. At the fishing, my kayak is a different type of piece, and it's like unlocking new levels of fishing spots. Yes, sir. You know it. Alrighty. You guys have any more questions for me or anything? I'm gonna hop off here. Thanks for coming in today, everybody. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the questions, all the new subs, all the returning subs. I appreciate all the well wishes, all the likes, and I hope everyone has a good day or a good night wherever you're at in the world. And I'll be back on here tomorrow around 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, somewhere around there. And thanks, Jimmy. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. See you later.